Worthy.
Bridge 1.
Copy. 6-1.
Bridge 2.
Hey, what's up, guys? Today is Saturday, December 10th. We have our Christmas program tomorrow, and so I want to talk to you about some things I've been doing to the kit and the program tomorrow. So I have added some samples to the drum set. I have brought in my Roland BT1, and I've got new hi-hats. So these are the old hi-hats, got new hi-hats. So that's the stuff I'm going to cover today in the vlog. Okay, so first up, and biggest addition slash change to the kit is the new hi-hats. I've talked about them previously, kind of my very first impressions in a previous vlog that I will link here. But the hats that came with this kit are the VH10. So specifically, the way these work is you've got a top hat and then a bottom like receiver with this piston that kind of works right here like this, if you can see that. So this is two 1/4 inch out. So there's a 1/4 inch that comes out of the bottom, a 1/4 inch that comes out of the top, and that is how it is controlled. So it's this action right here. So that's the VH10. Now the VH14D is a little bit different. So now you've got two hats. You actually have a top hat and a bottom hat, and there's two 1/4 inch cables still, but two 1/4 inches come out of the top hat into the bottom hat, and then a digital out into the kit. So if you can see this in here, if I can show you, you've got these two cables that connect from top to bottom, and then from the bottom you've got a digital out. So I'm going to do some sound comparisons to see if you can see the difference or hear immediately, but my impressions are a couple of things. Number one, the feel is totally different. Just I guess it's the interaction of not having a second hat and the feeling difference between having actual set of hats. So it feels so much better as far as just playing, which in the grand scheme of things, I guess may not be that big of an issue if you're just looking at things, if that was the only difference. But the main sound difference, if I understand right, this has two sensor regions. It's got a bow and it's got an edge sensor in the VH10. That's the old. So what that means though is if you're playing closer to the center, it's not going to pick that up, the difference. The big thing with the VH14 digital is that it can pick up as you go closer to the bell of the cymbal. It can pick up those differences, so that position within there. Also, I don't know how this, if I can contribute this to a specific sensor or what's making this happen, but I feel like the hi-hat, like the clenches, the opens, the transition between open and close. I guess if I were to say it this way, it's almost like if there were, a couple of stair steps on the VH10s between close to open. On the VH14s, there's like so many more steps in between there to have a much more natural response. So those are kind of the big things for me, is the feel of the bottom hats, the positional awareness of the sensors, however that works, but knowing that you're playing a little bit closer just gives a little more of that natural feel and sound to the cymbal, which I guess is minor. Like if I just play like a 15-second clip, is probably a minor difference, but as you play, like for a full set, you can really hear the difference because the hi-hat is responding a lot differently. And then finally, just the fluidity between like the closed to open position is light years different to me between the VH14 and the VH10. So I'll give a little sound sample, but other things, like I said, I'll show you in a second, but I've added the BT1, and then I brought my fourth tom from the studio. So I loaded some samples in here. I'll link the samples I'm using below. John Mike is the guy that's made them. Yasha's Drum Warehouse is the samples that I'm using, and I'll link the website. You can get those below. There's a couple things I probably just haven't figured out yet about this kit, but another amazing thing about the Roland kit, if I go over to one of the other kits that I haven't touched at all, is this, snare and then rim. So, and then also if you lay your hand down, that cross stick magic, however it's figuring that out. Right, however it figures out that it's doing that is awesome. But when I've loaded samples in, I lose that feature, and I haven't figured out how to get that cross stick sensitivity back. So I've loaded in some snare samples. And so now I can't figure that out. So I brought my BT1, and that's my cross stick. Also, you may laugh hearing this by itself, but this first tom is borderline ridiculously high, and it's the sample, but actually in the mix, like final product, it sounds great, but almost like a roto tom. I don't know if it's an 8-inch. I don't know if it may be an 8-inch. And I'm kind of cheating on these samples too, because I loaded in, I think it's 10, 12, and then 16, but I brought up my other tom, so I actually have like tom 1 sample, tom 2 sample, tom 4 sample, and then I just took tom 4 sample again for the 4th tom, and then just dropped it down a lot. So probably can't hear that through this mic, but I'll plug in the SD card and you can hear the difference. Even just this hi-hat, like open right here, is so on point. Again, probably can't hear it through the mic. I'll have to demo it again, but man. All right, this is the VH14D. I'm using the Studio A kit, and yeah, just like it is. All right, this is the VH10s. hard to quantify, but I feel like the newer hats catch this almost, if I strike before I open, a lot better than these 10s. I have to really get it. I have to open the hats, make sure that's already open before that strike happens. Like, which I guess is a little bit of my playing, but it doesn't pick that up. It doesn't pick up that open slightly after the strike. Where on the 14s, I feel like it picks that up every time. So I'm a little late on the open. It doesn't pick it up versus. Again, that's kind of subjective because that could be sensitivity, different things. But honestly, one of the biggest things is just that feeling of having the two hats really does influence my playing a lot, I feel like. So, yeah. Anyways, here's some samples, back and forth, super quick. But there's a lot more videos on YouTube where you can talk about these two cymbals. I know it's like you love this up close and personal in my face, but I thought you may appreciate just a very quick look at the difference. Is this awkward yet? All right, so that is kind of a rundown on the hats, which I'm really digging the new hats. Now, I actually did an entire vlog about the samples that I added here, but after I finished it, completed it, uploaded it, I just didn't enjoy it. I felt like it was kind of slow paced. So I'm probably gonna cut clips in here. So this is not gonna make sense without context, because I'm gonna jump back in time to a previous Sunday in a different outfit if I review that vlog and there's some aspects of the explanation that I gave that I really like. Otherwise, I'm just gonna play them through here. I added the BT1 here from my cross stick. I added my 4th tom. And yeah, again, I kind of pitched that down. Now these samples, I've got the snare sample and toms and kick. Everything else is stock stuff that I'm using. So I think it sounds good, like the final product. Again, the tom 1 is almost too much, but I think I like it. Now, I know a lot of you in the comments on these videos already have dived into, hey, you got to use VSTs, you got to do software, all kinds of stuff. And what I want is a built-in solution, right, where another drummer can just sit down without having to have, you know, anything extra to do that. So if you got some tips on how to integrate samples, if you got tips on, you know, samples that sound really good with the Roland kit or other things, I know a lot of people talk about Superior Drummer, but my knowledge of that is basically that it goes through a DAW. So if there's something you know about the TD27 brain that I don't know, I would love to hear it. But here's this kit a little bit. So hats are normal. That's the tone I'm talking about. So I'm not saying it's amazing, but I am saying that I feel like it's a lot better than the stock kit. I've dialed some stuff in and it sounds good in our context and our mix. So yeah, those are samples I've added. Should be a good time tomorrow. I've got my GoPros charging there. I've got a mess of stuff here, and this is the life of what it looks like to try to vlog on the weekends. New hat, added the BT1, added the 4th tom, trying to get it to feel good, and we'll be back in the morning for musicians rehearsal. Good morning. It's good mood music here. Sunday, we're getting ready for rehearsal.
What's up, YouTube?
So I got a funny story. He's been on my vlog before, and it was kind of impromptu, which is like right now, he didn't know I was about to do this because he's trying to get like spiritual and I'm being carnal. So I walk up to him like, hey bro, he's got this switch that switches between, he had 2 mics, right? Talkback and like house mic in case he needs to lead worship. So I'm like, all right, bro, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. Explain what the switch does. And he knows what it does, but on camera he goes, and then he goes,
You're gonna have to cut this
you're
out.
gonna have to cut this out. And so, like on YouTube, on the final video, I like asked him the question, and then I cut to me explaining it. And you guys roasted me in the comments because y'all were like, you didn't let the man speak. So this is music
Now you
director.
know.
Here he is. You know, if you put him on the spot, he doesn't know what these switches do. Anyways, MDing today and playing keys and just talk back, right? Are you
That's
switch?
it. Just talk back.
Yeah,
today.
just talk back today. So yeah, we're getting ready. It's actually like 8 o'clock right now, so we're about to get rolling. So he's gonna be playing. We're trying to get him on YouTube. He got an interface. He's getting there. So I believe.
Getting there. Thank you.
I believe.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, perfect timing. Oh man.
I don't know any answers to any questions.
I don't know how to play anything either. It doesn't work. I don't know how this works.
How does the
do you
talk
plug
back
it up?
work?
Okay. You got it.
Guitar, bass, Mike, Tyler.
do it.
They're gonna rock today. What's your drink of choice this morning, brothers?
This is an Americano.
Can't go wrong.
Good stuff.
What you got?
Straight black coffee, espresso.
Ooh, very good.
That's what I.
Pre-chorus. 2, 3, 4.
There you go, bro. You're on the vlog.
I'm in the vlog. We're on the vlog. Come on. Look at me, Mom.
The man.
There's the man.
Christmas program's done. Went well. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks so much to Sweetwater for sending out these hats. I really like them, and they feel so much better, even upgrade over the other ones. So if you have any questions about anything I'm using, everything I've got is linked below. In the description of this video, I've got links for all my gear, all my production gear, all my drum gear. So yeah, it was a great Christmas program, and hope you guys have a great Christmas. See you in the next one. Tell them, bro.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, hit that bell so you're notified every time Daniel posts a new video. See you in the next one.